Hi, GED. Let's look at GED math. All right, so where you're at right now, you've already completed the pretest for the GED math. Excuse me, sorry. So essentially, it's really, really good after your pretests to go to the back of the book. It's around about page 720, I think 727 for the GED math. Look at the answers, the explanations. Now, sometimes with math, and especially those explanations, they're really highly summarized. So they might not always help, but it's still a good practice, and you're going to see a few things that'll jump out at you in terms of those explanations. So definitely go through that process. But don't also expect, and it's not expected, that those explanations will somehow unveil how to do the question. It does, math is a process. Math is definitely also a whole other language. So it's really critical with mathematics, especially, to take your time in learning that language, to practice learning that language. The beauty of the math language is that you can follow a very structured process to solve a problem. And the best way to learn that process is through practice. Of course, you need to see how to do that process. Again, it's really critical, if you haven't already, to print the GED formula sheet. The link is right there in the math section. Also, when you go in to do the math exam, also at the top of the course. And if need be, just email me and I'll send you the GED math formula sheet. You need a few copies of it. Definitely put one on just on your fridge, because again, as a new language, you need to start seeing this language around you. It's okay if some of the squiggles and some of the lines and stuff aren't making sense just yet. You need to alert your brain that, hey, this is a thing. This is a thing we're going to look at. This is a cool thing, and it is a cool thing. Mathematics has built our entire society. Math and science are totally linked together, and you can't do one without the other, and you can't have our current super duper technological society without math and science. So it's a big part of our world. So let's understand a little bit more about it. Ultimately, math is also just it's a fun game. It's puzzles. It's solving things. It's something your brain will crave once you start doing it regularly. So before we truly get into it, it's really important to go over some critical learning resources for math. So again, you've done the pretest. You can be using something called Mathantics or Khan Academy just on YouTube. And so if it's area of a circle, type in Mathantics, area of a circle. If it's some basic algebra, type that in, Khan Academy. Try those out, and either or, these are excellent resources. They are indeed what we call teaching videos, and they will show you that exact process. That process that's really, really critical for mathematics, to understand what are the steps and then practice that process over and over. Of course, you can always email me. Just send me a screen capture of the question. There's also learning centers right here. I've got the Rocky Learning Center highlighted, but all of your communities and in Edmonton and Calgary have free tutoring services available, and I can help you find that. There is a tutor near you who can help you for free with your math and all the other parts of the GED course as well. So definitely you're going to want to link up with a tutor. There's more math help. NorQuest has online tutorial services. Now these links I can send to you as well so that you've got them. Basically, there's like 45 hours here of time. I've had students who attended tutorial literally every day for 2 weeks in a row, and you can do that. And you can go as much or as little as you like, but it's definitely a really, really helpful. They know how to help students with any level that NorQuest teaches, but specifically GED math would be one of their real expertise. So that's another resource that you've got. And you've worked on a question, you want to see, hey, what is the process to solving this question, and then practice that process. And of course, the paper book is an excellent, excellent resource. This right here, just watch this. We're going to go through, this is from the GED pretest. We're going to do a little teaching video on this right now, right within this session. So take a look at it. It won't take long. Take a look at it, and then we'll continue talking about your math. Okay, GED, let's take a look at this question. It's from the math pretest. Let's take a look at how to solve this question. Your first step with any math question that involves reading or a word problem like this is just to read the question and even read it aloud. So Sandra buys an insurance policy that costs $7.43 for every $2,500 of insurance. If she buys $30,000 of insurance, how much does that cost her? Okay, so let's look at the key numbers here. It looks like right here we've got a cost of $7.43 for every $2,500 of insurance. So I've kind of isolated that key information right here. You know, in other words, if you were going to buy $5,000 of insurance, well, it would be double 743. So we just do 743 times 2. Not a number we can do in our head, but yeah, this is part of the GED where we can use our calculator. So do this along with me as well. You can actually pause the video and put the question right into your notebook. So pause it right now and yeah, write it as it is. You don't have to put the multiple choice answers, but just write that. Okay, so you've written that right there, that exact question in your math notebook. And this is the first step, is just to look at just the numbers. And we've got two numbers right here, and we're trying to understand, well, what does this mean? Okay, so for every $2,500 of insurance, it costs $7.43. I'd like to know what $5,000 of insurance. I've got my calculator here. So I'm going to go 743 times 2, because that's two 2,500s and 5,000. Okay, so that will be $14. And let's just do a few of these. We don't need to go all the way to 30,000, but this would be $14.86. Hey, that's a pretty good deal, actually. $5,000 of insurance for 14 bucks. It makes sense. 2,500 was $7. Okay, so 5,000 is going to be 14. That is supposed to look like a 4. Well, let's go and count by 2,500s again. If we had 3 2,500s, or we had $7,500 in insurance, what would that cost be? Well, we would simply go 3 times $7.43. Again, put it into your calculator. I'm going to put it into mine, but go ahead and get it before I do. 3 times $7.43. And again, think about why we're doing it this way. I'm just trying to understand the question that, you know, 2,500 is $7.43. Therefore, 5,000 is $14.86. So now we just go 3 times 743 to find out that $7,500 would be $22.29 of cost. Now, she wants to buy more insurance than these amounts. In fact, she wants to buy 30,000. Well, why don't we just kind of jump to that? So if she buys 30,000, because this is the actual question, and ultimately you want to, you know, be looking at a question and understanding what it says, and then just begin with it, basically. And this is what I did. I began with just some of the numbers. These two really were related and definitely made sense. So now let's go to the actual question. So she's going to buy 30,000. How much does that cost? Well, we've got to find out how many 2,500s are in 30,000. In other words, we're going to divide 30,000, and we're going to divide that into 2,500s. We're going to see how many 2,500s, just like if we asked, you know, how many 2,500s are in 7,500? Well, there's 3 of them. And that's why we had to go 3 times 743, and that's why that much insurance would cost $22.29. But we want more, or she wants more than 7,500. She wants $30,000 of insurance. If we divide this, and go ahead and put it in your calculator, yeah, you get 12. And we know that we're just going to multiply that now by 743. Because this is basically saying that there are 12 2,500s in 30,000. And you could literally count by 2,500 all the way to 30,000 and just literally use your fingers and go, okay, 2,500, that'd be 1. 5,000, that'd be 2. 7,500, oh, that would be 3. 10,000, that would be 4. You could literally count by 2,500s to see how many are in there, or you can just use a calculator and see how many 2,500s are in there. Now we're going to go 12 times $7.43 and see how much this is actually going to cost. So let's go 12 times 7.43. Oops, I just typed that in wrong. And always check on your calculator. Type stuff in correctly. 7.43. Yep, got it. There we go. $89. So this is going to cost, because that's what we're looking for, is a cost, $89.16. And that is, in fact, one of the answers. There we go, GED. That's how to get that one. Let's look at another question together. Take care. All right, you took a look at that process. Again, even if you can solve this question, write out this question and do that process. It's good activity, and it's just like doing push-ups or sit-ups for some elite professional athlete. Of course, they can do sit-ups and push-ups, but they do them to just exercise their body. So do that, this exact question, to exercise your mind, and definitely you want to get into that mindset. The practice will make a difference. It'll improve everything about your approach to math the more you practice it. This is another question, again, from the math pretest, just taking a look at it. I want to kind of show you how to really focus here. You know, it's talking about the top of the package, right? So we're looking right here at the very top of this package. And so essentially that's called perimeter. We can see the bottom is 8.5, therefore the top is 8.5. Now let me just go to a little maybe better zoomed in picture. And this is just a model here. But indeed, if this was 8.5, if this then was 10 centimeters, yeah, we just need to add up all of these distances here to get our answer. You'll find that in the GED math that there's often many problems that are very visual, basically. And the only way to get good at these kind of problems is to do practice questions just like this. And even over and over, you know, to a certain extent, you don't need to practice this like 10,000 times. But even looking at a question like this 3-4 different times over the course of a couple of weeks will really help your brain realize, yeah, these are visual puzzles, and I just need to focus on what they're showing me in the picture. Okay, so that is basically your pretest. And so let's take a look here at the actual contents. You've done the GED pretest, you've done some review. I would suggest you even pick up a couple of those questions and just watch a Khan Academy or Math Antics video, teaching video about it. But yeah, you're going to want to dive into the GED math content. So basically it's page 456, and just work through, have your math notebook, work through a bit of it, take some notes, even if it's just some basic stuff, just to get warmed up. You want to have that habit as well. It is about, especially with mathematics, because it is truly about building the habit of practice. So those habits of open the book. Okay, I'm going to read. Okay, I'm going to take some notes out of here. Oh, they're talking about place value. Oh, they're talking about, adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. You're going to want to just be copying key information and the questions that they're showing you in the paper book. So definitely make that one of your first tasks after you've completed the math pretest and you're heading into learning the math section of the course. But once also those pretests are done, and once you've gone through some of the GED content, it's time to dive in and do your first quiz. And it's the whole numbers, fractions, and decimals review quiz. Now, basically your goal in this quiz is like with all the other GED quizzes, that if you get 60% or better, you just keep doing, you do the next quiz after that. And you just keep going until it starts to get, tough to get 60%. Always review these quizzes, and also, use the review content in the book to kind of help you, because as you're using the book, you're going to see, oh, this question is right here, or a very similar version of it is right here in the book, and I want to review that. But yeah, if you don't quite get 60, definitely first try the test again. It's a good practice, but you will want to basically be diving into the book and or using YouTube videos, Math Antics, and to basically be asking typing in a search term and YouTube, and basically getting a teaching video. But yeah, let's look at some questions that you're going to run into in this particular quiz. And even if you've already done it, you're going to probably want to do it again. But if you haven't done it, that's also good. So either you've already done this quiz or you haven't. Both are good. Here's some specific questions. Now, what we want to do is make sure you pause the video right now. Make sure that you have your notebook and a calculator, and essentially you're going to want to first watch how I do the questions, because we've got the videos here. We've got a video actually embedded in this for each of these questions, and essentially pause and then take note. Watch through how I did it. Pause, take note of how I did it. Try to do it on your own, but if you have to, watch it again, and then use pause as I'm showing you the procedure. The goal is to be able to write out these questions and produce the procedure I'm showing you. This is how to learn math. You want to basically internalize the steps for each of these questions, how to solve them. You want to be able to, we have whatever 5 or 6 questions here. You want to be able to solve each of these on paper without a calculator, following the steps I'm about to show you. Okay, so, and you've already paused and taken a look at these questions first. You might be saying, hey, I can do these. That's not a problem. So you can skip ahead, and it's about the next, let's just see here. It's about the next 15 minutes that you can skip ahead. Okay, you're going to go and start watching each of these questions and or skip ahead. Okay, GED, let's take a look at this question. It's one from the whole numbers, fractions, and decimal review quiz. You might have already done that quiz, or you might be prepping to do that quiz. So whether you've done the quiz or whether you're about to do the quiz, let's do this question together. Get your math notebook. Hit pause, write this question out. So don't pause just yet. But you're going to hit pause, write this question out as you see it right now. Then watch how I do it. Pause again, write the process out on your own, and basically redo that, watching me until you get the process right for this one question. Then practice this one question again tomorrow on a blank sheet of paper. The point is you want to make sure to get the process. So we're going to take the number 24 and divide it by 4/7. Well, a cool trick we can do is we can turn 24 into a fraction, make it what's called an improper fraction, because 4/7 certainly is a fraction. And another way to write the number 24 is 24/1. Because 24 divided by, and that's what that line stands for in a fraction. 24 divided by 1 is 24, or simplifies to 24. It's another way to write 24. So first, let's rewrite this as 24/1 divided by 4/7. Now, when we're dividing fractions, we take the second fraction, and here's the procedure that you need to practice and know. And you need to know this procedure like breathing, basically. So practice it enough so that you just breathe this procedure out. When we're dividing by fractions, we take the second fraction and flip it and turn it into a multiplication question. So we're going to go 24/1. We flip the second fraction to 7/4, and we change the question into multiply. Now we know when we multiply fractions that we just multiply the top by the top and the bottom by the bottom. So 24 times 7, or 7 24s. Now, of course, I can estimate that. That's about 25, and I know 4 25s is 100. So 7 25s would be, 3 more. I'll be under 175. Now, might as well just use a calculator to help me out a little bit here on this one. You can certainly also just do 24 times 7 over here, and you should be able to do that as well. But just in the interest of time, I'm gonna practice it both ways. Just suddenly my little computer is being a little silly. There we go. Just do it on paper like that. In fact, try it like that. I'm just gonna get the quick answer here. I know it's somewhere's underneath 175. Okay, so I'm gonna go 24 times 7, 168 right on top. So top by top, bottom by bottom, 168/4. 168 divided by 4. How many 4s are in 168? Well, let's again use the calculator. 168 divided by 4. There's 42. Nice. It nicely goes so easily. Let me just write it here. I put a box around it, so I've got the right answer. And I might as well show you that math as well that we did. 4 goes into 168. So you can do this with or without a calculator, and you should be able to do it both ways. But we can do this top step first here, 24 times 7. And again, we're just checking if we did everything right as well here, right? So 7 times 4 is 28. That you should have memorized. Carry the 2 upstairs here. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. 168. Cool. 4 goes into 168. Well, 4 doesn't go into 1. 4 does go into 16, though. 4 times 4 is 16. We subtract that out. We're left with 0. We bring down the 8. We don't really need that 0 there, but anyway, it's there. How many 4s are in 8? 2. Ta-da! So that is how to divide fractions. And in this case, well, 24 technically wasn't a fraction, but you can turn any whole number into a fraction simply by writing it like that, making it itself over 1. And again, with a division of fractions question, we flipped the second fraction. Notice what we did. We flipped it and then just turned it into a multiplication problem. Once we get our answer, this obviously had to be simplified, and that is it in its simplest form. 168 divided by 4, or 4 goes into 168. Cool. Take care. Practice this one question again on your own tomorrow on a blank sheet of paper. Take care, GED. All right, GED math. So you've gone through each of those questions, seen how to solve them. The key would be now to basically try those exact questions tomorrow, 2 days from now, on a blank sheet of paper. Follow the exact procedure. If you're not sure, if you run into trouble, come back to this video and watch the procedure again. Practice the exact procedure. And of course, with math or any parts of the GED, if you got questions, just shoot me an email. Okay, take care, GED. Have an excellent day. Bye for now.